Hi everybody, it's Christina and thank you for joining me. So today we're here with another easel card, and this is called a block easel. And the reason it's called a block easel is because it's got this block at the bottom. So I'm going to make my card in blue, and these are the blues that I've got in my stash. Now the hardest decision is deciding which ones I'm going to use. Now I've just delved a little bit further and I found some navy blue card, and this is quite a sturdy card, so I'm going to use this for my base instead. Now for one of these pieces you're going to need just a 5-inch piece, and this is just an A4 sheet of card or American letterpress. So we're just going to cut that down to 5 inches, and that will be my base card. Now for the rest of it I need a 5x7 piece for the top, so we're going to put one here, that's 5, and there's my 7, and then I need a 5-inch square, so we'll just cut this down to a 5-inch square. And those will be the 3 pieces that I need to create this card. So now with your 3 pieces you can pop your 5x7 piece on one side, and with the long piece you're going to score it at 3.5, and again at 7. And this one you're going to score it at every inch, so that's 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 and 4. Now you can fold this all in mounting folds, and that's going to go along there. Now once that's all folded up, this is the little block that you will have. But don't do anything with that yet. And this one you're going to fold and score or burnish the same. So you can burnish this, and that will give you a piece of card then that looks like this. Let me move that out of the way. That looks like that. So that's going to create your easel. So there are your 3 panels. Now to go on this, don't forget this will be folded up like this, so you've got 1, 2, 3 pieces that you need. So you're going to cut 3 pieces from whichever card you choose, and I'm using the happy birthday one, and I've cut that down to 4 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch, because these are 1 inch by 5, so that will just leave me a nice small border around the edge. And they need to be fastened like so. So once you have these 3 panels glued in place, you can fold this up and you can add glue along here to fasten that together, and that will make your box that will sit at the bottom of your easel. So we'll add some glue along here and we'll fold that up, and we'll make sure it's all nice and neat together. And that now is my box, and it's decorated on 3 sides. 1, 2, 3 sides, and that's going to sit at the bottom of my card. So you're going to glue this box piece now to the bottom of what will be your easel, and once that's in place, that is what it will look like. Now you need to know what this measurement is, and you're going to add a piece that will fit in there. So that's just under 3.5, and again it's still 5. So from my birthday card I'm going to cut myself a panel that will fit in there. So to make that panel fit in there and leave a small border around the edge, I've cut it down to 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, and that will sit in there, so that when your panel is, your easel's open, you can still see the sentiments inside. So there's my base card done. Now to the bottom of this I'm going to add this panel, and I'm only adding my glue along the bottom piece. that up to match this, and that will be added just along there to form the easel. So that's what your card will look like at this point. Now we can start to add some decoration to it. So once you've got your easel panel in place, you can either decorate on top of that or you can add another piece to it. So I'm going to trim this down so it leaves just a small border around each edge, and I'm going to add this to the front of my easel. So there we are, we've now got that panel glued in place. Now I need to make some flowers to go on the front of this card. Now I just need to make this birthday card look a little bit different. Give it a dusting over with some talcum powder or anti-static. Choose any flower stamps that you've got and you're going to use Versamark on them. So you're going to stamp this down with some Versamark. Make sure it's got a good stamping. And if it's not left an impression as well as you want it to the first time, you can always re-stamp it. That's the beauty of a stamp platform. So once you've stamped that, you can sprinkle it with silver embossing powder, and then all you're going to do is just heat set that, ready to move to the next step. So there are my flowers stamped and heat embossed. Now to add some colour to them, you can use inks, you can use pencils, you can use alcohol markers or whatever you want. But I'm going to use some inks, and I'm going to use Blueprint Sketch, and I'm going to squirt that with some water. And then with a smusher, I'm just going to add some inks to the design. Now we'll dry that off and then we'll give that another coat. And now with the ink that's left and the water, I'm just going to use a paintbrush and I'm just going to add some splatters to these flowers. So there are my flowers now splattered and ready to be die cut. So I thought I would add another colour into my cards, and this is peacock feathers. So I've added some to my mat and I'm just going to a little bit onto the flowers, and again we can just add the rest of it as splatters. Now we can dry those off, and that will give our flowers two different shades to go on our card. Now with a marker and into the centre of the flowers, I'm just going to add some yellow, and that will just make the centres a little bit more pronounced. Now once we've done that, we can then cut the flowers out. So we can add the dies or we can fussy cut, whichever is easier for you. Now you can, if you wish, add more colour to your flowers, and that's just to take, this is a Zig watermarker, and I'm just going in very lightly to the shaded areas on the flowers, and just spreading the ink around a little bit more, and that will just give some definition to the bottom of the petals. Now using some of the leaves from the set and the rose flourish dies there, I've used 2 oval theatre frame, and I've also cut out another piece that will sit in the middle, and that's going to be added to the front of my card. So with my oval and my silver frame in place, there's my easel now ready to decorate. So I'm going to add my rose flourish leaves along the side, and I've split that in 2, and I'm going to add my flowers along here. So I might just bring those leaves down a wee bit more. So there's my block easel card finished now, and those flowers are left over for another card. These are some flowers that were left over from the card that I made there, and that's also lined on the inside. So there you have 2 really pretty block easel cards now ready to send. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one, and why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, then you'll always be aware when I add a new video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.